Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. So there is this message that I want to share with you guys. This message, I received it on WhatsApp as a WhatsApp voice note. Then it was translated into English. So I am going to read it for you. Brother Nashi, please ask for me from those people who are religious, either they be prophets or those who are traditional healers, to help me. Brother Nashi, I am in a lot of trouble, and sometimes I even say to myself that I am just better off dead. Brother Nashi, I am now 30 years old and I also live in a foreign country. I live with my husband and our 2 children. Brother Nashi, I have never ever told anyone this problem. You are the first one that I have told this problem. My brother, these things started when I was still in grade 7, when we went to my mother's village. We went there because my aunt, my mother's sister, had just passed away. When we got to my mother's house, we were left by the bus at the shops because in my mother's village, they built their homes just at the bottom of the mountains. So the buses, they just stop at the shops. Then from there, you have to walk about an hour from the shops whilst you go to the place where my mother's house is. At that time, my father was out of the country. That is why we had to use the buses. So when the bus dropped us off at the shops, it was around 6 p.m. But there were cousins who were waiting for us because mom had bought some groceries that was supposed to be used at the funeral. But when I got off the bus, I felt that there was something that came towards me, and that thing, it felt as if it came, then it hugged me. That thing then entered into my body, and its power was so much that I even lost control. Then I fell down. When I fell down, my mother and my cousins, they thought that it was because I was tired since we had traveled with the bus for a very long distance. I was then put in a cart. Then we went home. My brother, it was like a movie was happening before my eyes, because whilst I was lying inside that cart, I saw that there were some things that got inside it, and those things then disappeared. So I started to scream, but all of my cousins and my mother started to laugh at me, saying that you are not used to this place and this environment. So I just kept quiet. Throughout my aunt's funeral, who had passed away, there was this other grandmother of mine. This grandmother of mine, she was so friendly towards me. So she kept on sending me, saying that, my daughter, go and fetch me some water to drink. Even the very night that we arrived, she sent me twice to fetch water for her so that she can drink. But when I would go outside, go to the kitchen to fetch her water, I would feel this weird feeling. I felt so cold and it was so weird. So the next day, before my auntie was buried, people were having their tea. So this grandmother of mine said to me, daughter, come and eat with me. Then I went and we both drank tea together. After drinking tea, she gave me some fruits and she said to me, take it and eat it. So I started to eat that fruit. But my problem started when my aunt's body viewing was done, because when I looked at my aunt's dead body, instead of me being scared, since I was still a young child at that time, but instead of me being scared, I was not scared at all. I looked at her body, then something scary happened inside of me. I felt something in my body. I felt like taking my aunt's dead body. My brother Nashi, we came back to town, but that feeling did not leave me until today. That feeling hasn't left me. My problem, my brother, is that I love looking at dead bodies all day long. I follow along crime channels. The reason why I enjoy these crime channels, why I follow them a lot, it is because I want to know how these people that murder other people, how they do it. Sometimes when they show them on the TV, I feel as if it was me who had murdered that person that I'll be looking at in the TV. I also love watching horror movies and scary movies, but the kind of movies that I like like the most is the movies whereby if someone is going to be murdered in that movie, that person has to suffer first before they get murdered. My brother Nashi, even if I see a car that will be carrying a coffin, I even follow behind that car and I'll be fantasizing about the corpse that will be in that coffin. Heidi crying. Brother Nashi, one day I had gone to pick up my child from preschool, so along the way I bumped into a funeral car and I made a U-turn. I started to follow that car that was carrying a corpse. I was fantasizing about that corpse that was in that coffin. I only came back to my senses when my child said, "Mommy, where are we going?" Brother Nashi, when I checked the distance that I had followed this car, I had followed this car for about 50 kilometers. My brother, please help me to come here. It is because I need help. There are worse things that I do when my husband goes to work, when my kids are at school. My brother, what I do is that I drive around the neighborhood, and if I find a dead cat or maybe a bird that will be dead, I pick it up, then I return home with that dead cat or that dead bird. Then I start to romance myself with that dead thing that I'll have picked up. I think of terrible things, my brother Nashi. I have tried to pray, I have tried to fast, but it is getting worse. I even go on YouTube just to watch videos of dead people, and when I see these videos of dead people, whenever I look at these videos on YouTube of dead people, I feel so excited. Whilst I am watching these videos, there are things that I start to do. When I do these things to myself, it is the same things that I do whenever I pick up a dead cat or a dead bird. The things that I do to myself, I am even ashamed to say those things in public. So last night, brothers and sisters, I woke up. When I woke up, I looked at my husband and he was sleeping. Whilst he was sleeping like that, I looked at him. Then I started to fantasize. I was fantasizing that if he was to die tonight, so I said to myself that if I will ever have to steal my husband's body, I'll either keep it or I'll have to bury it myself. I even thought of a way whereby I will swap bodies. The day that my husband will die, I will have to look for another dead person. Then I will swap that person's dead body with my husband's body so that I can just keep my husband's dead body in the house. It is really bad, brother Nashi. I have no peace at all. When I look at myself, all that I can see is that I died a long time ago, even though I am still alive, but deep down inside, I am just a dead person whilst I am walking. Please help me, my brother. Dear listeners, right there was a voice note that I received on WhatsApp. It was a scary thing as I listened to that voice note. Please let us talk about this issue in the comment section.